It was 12:03 a.m. when the silence of a sleepy gas station got torn apart by 3 gunshots. No warning, no shouting, just a decision made in a heartbeat, and a black man lying in a pool of his own blood beside his car. The officer, pale and puffed up with power, stood over the body like he just took out a threat. He grabbed his radio and started weaving the same old story. Suspect was hostile, reached for a weapon. I had no choice, days. But across the state line in a quiet apartment in Baltimore, a federal marshal's phone buzzed on the nightstand. One sentence froze him in place. Sir, we need to talk about your son. Now, let me back up. See that man bleeding out on the pavement? That was Jesse Coleman, 28 years old, radiology tech, soft-spoken, reliable to a fault. That night, he just pulled a double shift, still in his green hospital scrub shoes worn down from hours on his feet. He was dead tired but smiling, thinking about breakfast with his girlfriend in the morning and the weekend trip to see his dad in D.C. Jesse was the kind of guy who always did the right thing, even when nobody was watching. As a kid, he'd mow old folks' lawns for free, never skipped class, never broke curfew. His dad, Marcus Coleman, a federal marshal with decades of service, used to joke, kid got the law-abiding gene twice. Didn't get it from me. That night, Jesse took the same route home he always did. Knew every traffic light, every patrol car hiding spot. He followed every rule, hands on the wheel, blinkers always on, because his dad taught him something early. Being a young black man means you don't get second chances with some of these cops. At 11:47 p.m., Jesse pulled into a corner gas station, one of those 24-hour joints, with flickering fluorescent lights and country music humming through rusty speakers. He pumped his gas, grabbed a water bottle, and that's when the squad car rolled in. Big white guy in uniform, shaved head, cold stare. Officer Craig Dalton. Dalton watched Jesse like a hunter tracks prey. Maybe it was the clean car, maybe the nice watch on Jesse's wrist. Whatever it was, he didn't like what he saw. Jesse saw him too, felt that familiar chill crawl up his spine. But he remembered his dad's words. Stay calm, stay respectful, stay alive. He finished pumping gas, hands visible, moved slow. He reached for the store door. Hey, hold up, the cop barked. Jesse turned slowly, both hands up. Yes, officer, he asked, voice steady. Dalton strutted up, hand resting on a keyed gun, not threatening exactly, but not safe either. Let's see some ID. Sure, Jesse said, nodding. It's in my back pocket. I'm just grabbing a bottle of water. Dalton squinted like he didn't believe a word. Hospital scrubs, huh? Where are you coming from? Baltimore, medical, radiology. Dalton scoffed, took a step closer. Hands on the car, Jesse's pulse kicked up. Don't resist. Don't argue. He turned palms flat on the roof. I haven't done anything wrong, sir. Dalton began patting him down, rough, aggressive. Nothing in his pockets but keys, a hospital badge, and his wallet. What's in your pocket wallet? That's all. Slowly, reach for it. And Jesse did exactly that. Slowly, one hand visible, no sudden moves. Dalton yelled, gun. Before Jesse could even say, it's just my 3 shots, rang out. Just like that, he was on the ground. Blood soaking into the concrete. Wallet still in his hand. No weapon, no threat. Just a dead black man at a gas station for being too careful. Dalton called it in. He went for a weapon. I feared for my life. But back in Baltimore, Marcus Coleman was already wide awake. His phone was still pressed to his ear when he stood up, pulled on his boots, and grabbed his badge. See, Marcus wasn't just a grieving father. He was a high-ranking federal marshal, 30 years in the game. He had arrested cartel bosses, crossed borders to hunt fugitives, testified against corrupt sheriffs. He knew what cover-ups looked like, and this smelled like one from a mile away. By 4:15 a.m., Marcus was already halfway to the scene. Car steady on the highway, mind racing through every tool, every contact, every federal resource he had. Richmond PD had no idea what they'd just done. When Marcus arrived, yellow tape was up. Officers milled around pretending to investigate, but Elena Cruz from Internal Affairs was waiting. She'd worked with Marcus before she respected him. She knew what he could do. "Marcus," she said, eyes heavy. "I'm so sorry. Show me everything." They walked the scene. Elena explained what officially happened. No witnesses, no video, dash cam malfunction, store security system offline. Too convenient. "You believe that Marcus asked?" Elena shook her head. "No, but this department's been playing this game for years." And that's when Marcus made a decision. Not as a father, but as a federal officer. This is no longer a local investigation. This is a federal civil rights case now. By dawn, his entire team was in motion. Deputy Marshal Page FBI agents, U.S. attorneys. They pulled Dalton's file, 17 complaints all buried. Excessive force racial slurs, falsifying reports. Never disciplined once. They pulled records on the whole department. Dash cam footage missing in 12 shootings. Internal affairs reports altered. Same officers, same lies, same playbook. At 6 a.m. the next day, federal agents surrounded Richmond PD headquarters. Marcus was standing at the front. He walked straight up to Captain Harris' badge on his chest. "You're under federal investigation for civil rights violations and conspiracy under color of law." The man blanched. "You can't investigate your own son's death," he stammered. "I'm not," Marcus said coldly. "Agent Park is. I'm investigating your department's 5-year pattern of state-sanctioned murder." Within hours, files were seized, servers imaged, cops arrested, Dalton included, taken from his house in cuffs, neighbors watching in stunned silence. In the following weeks, indictments rolled in. 12 officers, multiple supervisors. The DA who'd looked the other way resigned. The judge who dismissed complaints recused. Federal RICO charges, obstruction, civil rights violations, conspiracy. Marcus stood before a crowd of grieving families, mothers, sons, siblings, each one holding a photo of someone the police had taken. A quiet vigil outside the courthouse turned into a rally. "I couldn't save my son," he said into the mic, voice cracking. "But I promise you this. I will make sure no other family has to feel what I feel. Not while I still draw breath." The courtroom was packed on the first day of the trial. Photos of the 17 victims lined the back wall, their stories finally being heard, uncorrupted, unburied. Grant Maddox took the stand, no longer smug, no longer feared. "Why did you shoot Jesse Coleman?" the prosecutor asked. Maddox lowered his eyes. "Because he was black, and I was trained to see that as a threat." The room fell silent. He confessed to it all. The jury convicted. The city cleaned house, the department rebuilt from the ground up, and Marcus, he kept going. Kept fighting, because this wasn't just about Jesse. It was about a system that thought it could bury truth and walk away. But this time, it buried the wrong man's son. If this story hit you in the chest, if it made you angry or just tired of the same old injustice, drop a comment. Tell us where you've seen this before. Who did the system fail in your town? Because stories like Jesse's, they don't end until we decide they do.